Jiwoo looks at his stick, which became an ego weapon, the beginner's weapon, which became the strongest weapon in Chrono Life. And the best part is that it has infinite durability. Jiwoo laughs crazily now that his revenge is going down the right path. Then suddenly some ghost pops up from the wooden stick. He asks, "You look so happy, sir." After hearing that, Jiwoo was so shocked that he started to say all the curses in the world. Jiwoo asks, "Why does this wooden stick suddenly have a face? Who the hell are you?" That ghost creature replied, "It is me, sir, the twin-headed dragon, Eurus." Jiwoo, who was confused, remembered the menacing face of the two-headed dragon and started to ask if he was really Eurus. Eurus told him that what he was thinking was right. Eurus hops out of the stick and he says, "As I mentioned earlier, my soul now resides within your weapon. Basically, I am the spirit of this weapon." Jiwoo, who was amazed, asks, "Wow, did you just pop out of the weapon?" Eurus replied, "That is the main feature of ego-ranked weapons. Only you can see and hear me, sir." Jiwoo starts poking Eurus and blushing, saying that Eurus is a lot squishier now. Jiwoo said, "Well, I think I have the gist of it. But where is your other head? I thought you were a twin-headed dragon." Eurus was confused looking at his head. He said, "Huh? My other head? Wait, where is my other head?" Jiwoo told him to not ask him about that. Then a poster fell from the air, which made both of them start to question what is that thing. He picks up the paper and he starts to get confused when he sees his face in there with a bounty of 10 billion gold. And at that time, the whole village was raining with that poster of a wanted man. Wherever you look around, there is a poster of Jiwoo with a large bounty on his head. In every corner of the town, you can see his face pasted on the wall. Seeing that made Eurus excited. He said, "You really are strong, huh, sir? Slaying 800,000 people in just one swing. I couldn't even dream of such power. Not to mention, the bounty is 10 billion gold. That is equal to 10 billion won in real life. That is unbelievable." Jiwoo, who was eating, said, "Aren't you just an AI character in this game? It is okay for you to be talking about stuff like real money. I thought characters like you weren't allowed to talk about things outside of the gaming world." Eurus replied, "Oh well, I am already dead anyway." Jiwoo said, "You really don't care anymore, huh?" Eurus asks, "More importantly, what are you going to do about this? With a huge reward like this, the entire user base is going to come after you. How about we taking this opportunity to just bring the extinction of humankind?" Looking at the posters that were spread on the whole area made Jiwoo think about something. In his mind, oh, 800,000 users, huh? Did that happen when I first dropped that wooden stick? I knew the vibe was off in the village. But Jiwoo didn't mind that strange feeling because for him what he was at right now wasn't that bad after all. He suddenly felt like he had become a celebrity. Jiwoo said, "Since there is no turning back, maybe I will just go with a secretly OP persona." Eurus asks, "Secretly OP? What does that mean?" Jiwoo replied, "OP, as in overpowered. I would look like a stupid newbie but secretly have these wild powers." Eurus, who was confused, asks, "Why would you want to hide your powers? Humans look down on opponents who appear weak." Jiwoo replied, "You've got to learn, Eurus. That is the fun of it all. Haven't you ever seen those other world genre comics? They always have a weak-looking main character who is actually super strong. Isn't that so cool? And if I do that, I can relax and enjoy my fantasy life." While Jiwoo was giving a lecture to Eurus, a sudden arrow hit him and stabbed Jiwoo in the stomach, which made him cough up blood. That hit made Jiwoo fell to the ground. Eurus, who sees what happened, starts to panic, calling his master. With that shiny bow and arrow, the one who hit Jiwoo was no other than Hawkeye, who is the supreme commander of the top 5 guild alliance. Hawkeye said that it was a bullseye. Looking at their target on the ground, the archers led by Hawkeye start to march, and in an instant, the whole town is surrounded by the archers, leaving no escape for Jiwoo as their bows are pointed at him. Hawkeye shouted, "As the supreme commander of the Guild Alliance, I order this vicious murderer to be arrested and confined for killing over 800,000 players." All of the archers, who were also angry, responded that they would follow their leader's order. Eurus, who was panicking, kept calling his master. He said, "Are you all right? You need to get up. Humans may be weak on their own, but they can be a handful when they are grouped up like this." Jiwoo slowly stands up, but still, he is affected by the arrow that shoots him. Even Jiwoo was slowly standing up. Those archers under Hawkeye didn't even falter. While groups of archers are above the roof aiming at Jiwoo, there are spearmen who are aiming to gang up Jiwoo in case he retaliates. Hawkeye shouted, "The enemy is standing. Don't let him even catch his breath. Everyone attack." Eurus was panicking, calling his master. Jiwoo starts to remove the arrow that pinches in his body, and then he tosses it on the side. He angrily told Eurus to forget what he said earlier about the peaceful fantasy life. In the face of thousands, if not millions, of soldiers, Jiwoo didn't falter. Instead, he smiled like a devil incarnate. He shouted, "I was going to keep my powers a secret and live a quiet life. You brought this upon yourselves." Without even giving the men under the 5-guild alliance time to attack, a sudden explosion erupted from Jiwoo's assault. The explosion was so massive that it resembled a nuclear bomb and could be seen from outer space. In that sudden flash, all of those men under Hawkeye were obliterated and were lying on the ground. Hawkeye was coughing as he started to regain his consciousness. In his mind, what happened? I suddenly saw a huge flash before my eyes. But when he came back to his senses, he looked at the surroundings and realized that all of his men were lying on the ground. The whole town was flattened, and there were no even specks indicating that there was a town there. Only a crater was left. He started to question, is the capital of the First Kingdom gone? When he saw Jiwoo slowly approaching him, he picked up the hidden item under his sleeves. It was an item called the Orb of Calling. It can summon as many people of your choosing to your current location. It is a one-time use item that costs 10 million gold. Hawkeye broke down the Orb of Calling and a flash of light appeared. Hawkeye shouted, "I summon all guild members of the World Alliance. Answer my call! Mass teleport!" Then a lot of magic circles appeared in the area. Inside the magic circle were soldiers that are waiting on standby to capture Jiwoo. More and more soldiers are being transported to the area where Jiwoo is standing. But this guy was not even bothered by their appearances. And in an instant, Jiwoo was surrounded by millions of soldiers in that area aiming to capture and gang him up. At that moment, all the members of the Guild Alliance assemble. The total number of members summoned is approximately 3 million players. Hawkeye points his finger at Jiwoo and shouts at everyone to attack that guy. Even though millions of soldiers were running to attack him, Jiwoo didn't even falter, and he just took a deep sigh. With one slash, thousands of soldiers were obliterated. That is not even his serious attack, that is just his normal swinging of his wooden stick. Even Eurus could not believe that it happened in front of his eyes. But his attack doesn't end with that one. Since his wooden stick has now infinite durability, he was able to release another attack again without thinking of any backlash. This bastard is as overpowered as Saitama. Another thousands of soldiers were obliterated with that simple swing from Jiwoo. Eurus starts sweating as he remembers the time when he gave advice to Jiwoo, telling him that humans may be weak on their own, but they can be a handful when they are grouped up like this. In Eurus's mind, if millions of players gang up on us, it will be a defeat even for the strongest creature. That is just how things work. Even as the strongest monster in the game, I couldn't take on thousands of enemies at once. Not to mention he is not going against just anyone. They are the members of the World Alliance Guild. These are users who possess the highest rankings across the world. Even if I were to summon the entire Eurus Legion, it would still be an inevitable defeat. So it is logical that we ran away. But it was mistaken. This guy was different. The 10 strongest crusaders of the Cross Guild that was led by Suho jumped at Jiwoo. But of course, the MC was so OP, and he just smiled at them. With just one simple slash, all of them met their end. But actually, the goal of Suho and the other crusaders was to buy time for Abracadabra, who is the most powerful mage of the royal family, to chant and cast a spell to attack Jiwoo. Together with the other mages, they were able to cast a large magic circle above Jiwoo. Abracadabra shouted, "Spell invocation, archaic art disintegration." A huge flash appeared in front of his eyes. Within that magic circle, a strong shockwave was released, approaching to hit him. Jiwoo didn't budge but looked at it with an amazed expression. But of course, this bastard was not amazed by the spell. He said, "Damn, that is a pretty cool name. I should make up a name for my skills too." This bastard lifted the wooden stick up, and with that, a huge shockwave appeared, even emanating from outer space. He called that attack Swing Up. This bastard has no sense of naming, but that simple attack broke down the magic circle of Abracadabra with ease. Abracadabra was so shocked that the Panty Man broke down her magic crest instantly. She ordered the royal mages to prepare for the next invocation. All other mages followed their captain's orders. But she was alarmed when she saw that Jiwoo was already raising the stick. Jiwoo mentioned the name of that skill, which he called as swing down. This bastard was just describing the action and not naming it at all. And of course, we know what will happen next. They were all taken down instantly. 1 player versus 3 million players. It wasn't just a defeat, it was a sheer massacre. The entire World Guild Alliance has been slain. The only player that was left is Hawkeye, who was on his knees and was about to go crazy. While Jiwoo was slowly approaching him, Hawkeye continuously muttered that this thing cannot happen at all. He still couldn't believe that 3 million players were slain just like that. He was sweating and crying while muttering. Jiwoo said, "I made sure to keep you alive. It took a lot of energy to hold back my powers." Hawkeye asks, "Are you not going to kill me? Why?" Jiwoo takes a deep sigh, then his face turns into something like a creepy bastard. He said, "What do you mean? Isn't it obvious? You were the one who shot me with that arrow earlier." Jiwoo smacked the wooden stick in the face of Hawkeye, and the shockwave even passed the planet's atmosphere. This bastard was so evil to hold back his power and attack it in the face of the poor World Alliance leader. And of course, that battle that happened that day became a hot topic, not only for the users of the Chrono Life but among the players across the world, and even among people who didn't even play games. Jiwoo points his wooden stick to the ground and Eurus suddenly pops up. Eurus happily said, "You took them all down. You really are amazing, sir." Jiwoo replied, "Oh, I was wondering where you went. You were in there the whole time." But while he was talking to Eurus, Jiwoo heard a footstep walking towards him. He was alarmed and he said, "What the hell? There is one more left? How annoying." When he looked at the person who was walking, it was the woman who was familiar to him. Even though there was extensive news coverage about what happened in the Guild Alliance, not a single person knew about this encounter. Jiwoo was so shocked to see Luna. Luna smiled and said, "It's been a while, stupid newbie." Jiwoo clenched the wooden stick in his hand, gritting his teeth as he saw Luna, who had betrayed him, appear before him. In his mind, the sun sets over these vast plains. Countless spears and swords sprawled across the land. 3 million bodies lying cold and dead. And at last, we cross paths again. In my mind, this was a scene straight out of an action movie. It must have been the theatrics of it all, because instead of getting angry, all I could do was laugh. Luna smiled and said, "How have you been? What a coincidence. I never thought we would meet again in a place like this." Jiwoo replied, "A coincidence, huh? What a load, bull. You clearly came looking for me." Hearing that, Luna grins and asks, "Is that what it looks like?" Jiwoo replied, "I honestly want to bash your skull right this instant. But since we are already talking, your hair looks different. Did you dye it?" Luna said, "Oh, I am so glad to hear that. You actually noticed. After killing you, I advanced job classes to the hidden class of the Goddess of Life. Once I advanced, my hair color suddenly changed." Hearing that Jiwoo points his wooden stick at Luna, he says, "You became a Goddess of Life after killing 1,000 players? Shouldn't that job class be called the Goddess of Death?" Luna replied, "I know, right? It was so funny how things worked out." Jiwoo was quite offended when he heard that for Luna it was just something funny, so he attacked Luna with his wooden sword, which Luna was able to evade. He said, "Well, enough funny stuff. It is time for you to get a beating." Luna replied, "Oh, already, huh?" He slashes Luna again and a huge explosion on the ground is created with that slash. Luna was able to avoid that attack easily, and Jiwoo was shocked when he heard Luna's voice, which he thought he was able to hit. Luna said, "What a shame. I still had so much I wanted to tell you." Without even letting Luna finish what she was about to say, Jiwoo released another swing once again, and it was a direct hit. The shockwave of that attack passed through many mountains. Eurus was excited after that attack. He said, "Bullseye. You're the best, sir. Nice shot, and she is out." Jiwoo replied, "That was nothing. Players like that are all talk and no walk." But even if it was a direct hit and the whole ground was obliterated, Jiwoo was shocked to see that Luna was there standing and was unscathed. Luna smiled at him and she said, "Wow, you have gotten much stronger, but that is not going to be enough to kill me." Eurus cannot believe that Luna also survived that attack. He was panicking and sweating. He said, "Over there, boss. She is still alive." Jiwoo replied, "I can see that. Now get your foot out of my mouth." Luna grinned, looking in the direction where Eurus is. This made Eurus flinch. In his mind, "Wait, what? Did we just make eye contact? That can't be. There is no way anyone besides him can see me." Jiwoo said, "Oh, this is really strange. I know you got hit by my attack, but how are you standing still here unscathed?" Luna replied, "Didn't I tell you just now? Now I am a goddess of life. Did you really think a mere human could kill a god?" But this annoys Jiwoo more. He raised his wooden stick and said, "Wow, now you are really getting on my nerves." Jiwoo was about to get serious in attacking Luna as he started to run towards her. However, even though Jiwoo was approaching her at a faster speed, Luna didn't even bother to acknowledge it. A huge slash was released by Jiwoo, and the shockwave was bigger than mountains. Continuous slashes were released by Jiwoo, the shockwaves from that attack visible even from outer space. The attacks of Jiwoo shake the whole planet. Eurus was sweating as he felt those tremors. In his mind, it feels like the whole continent is shaking. At this rate, we are all going to disappear into dust. But even with that attack, Luna was still standing. She flaps her wings to remove all the dust from the tremors and tells Jiwoo that all his efforts are futile. Luna fly in the air and Jiwoo stops attacking. Maybe he felt tired from the continuous attacks. Luna removes her wings and walks towards Jiwoo while smiling. "This damn witch should die." While walking, Luna said, "My goodness, you poor and stupid newbie. I am sure you couldn't stop thinking about me since the day we met. You must have wanted to kill me so badly." Luna stood up in front of Jiwoo and said, "Just give up. No matter how much time passes, and no matter how strong you become, you will never be able to kill me. Never." Instead of getting angry at the provocation of Luna, Jiwoo just takes a sigh and turns around. Jiwoo starts stretching his arm. Luna asks him, "Oh, where are you going? Are you finally going to give up now?" Jiwoo said, "I am going to actually swing with all of my power this time. I think that will be what it takes to make a clean split into two." Luna just laughed at him and she said, "Oh my gosh, did you not hear me? I said you will never be able to kill me." Jiwoo told her that he was not referring to her when he talked about wanting something to split into two. Instead, he was referring to the whole planet. Hearing that made Luna flinch, so she asked Jiwoo pardon to make things clear. Jiwoo looked back at her and smiled. He said, "If I cannot directly kill you, then I will just destroy the entire planet. You would either end up getting caught in the explosion or get flung all the way into space. Either way, you would be gone." Hearing that made Luna frown. Luna said, "I was wondering what you were going on about. Do you really think a mere human like yourself could accomplish such a thing?" Jiwoo started massaging his arm and he said, "Did you not hear me? I said I am going to swing with all my power. Throughout all of today, I didn't use my full power even once." Luna starts glaring at Jiwoo. Maybe she felt threatened. Luna said, "Let's say you were able to destroy this planet. You would end up dead too. That wouldn't be revenge. That is just suicide. You are willing to go that far for your own selfish satisfaction?" Jiwoo stays silent after hearing that. Then he starts to remember the time he was cut in half, that death was a price for the knowledge that in this game only the strong will survive. He starts laughing like a fool. Jiwoo was about to go crazy. He said, "Now, listen up, kid. There are always little trolls like you who don't seem to understand how things work. Satisfaction? Suicide? I've got nothing to lose. And you should never pack with someone who has nothing to lose." Hearing that made Luna start to sweat. She told Jiwoo to wait, but this evil bastard is going crazy right now. He smiled like a crazy guy and started to slam the whole ground with his full force. The shockwave was so intense. The force from that attack starts to spread from their place into the whole planet, and with that, the whole planet shattered and exploded. The coding system of the game also started to shatter down. All of the players automatically quit from the game. They began whining and asking the attendant in the virtual reality capsule room about what was happening and why they were kicked out from Chrono Life. They asked him if he cut the power or something. The attendant tried to calm down the customers, saying that he didn't do anything like that. One of the customers told everyone that the Chrono Life posted something at their website. The Chrono Life posted that they are having an emergency server maintenance and they are asking an apology for interrupting the game. But while everyone was busy looking at the news about Chrono Life, there was one player who was still in the capsule, one who is currently playing Chrono Life with identity number 1.28. Notification pops up. As the main system is activating, the server starts scanning all users and Chrono Life was updated to version 1.7. The current number of online users is only 1. And of course, that person is no other than our freaking MC who only wears a panty. Jiwoo starts scratching his head. He said, "Where am I? That is weird. Just a moment ago I could have sworn that I was in a place with that woman." Then some random guy appeared. He said, "Steet 389. That is the name of the planet you destroyed. Even in the 4th universe, it is famous for its beauty. Why did you do that?" He told Jiwoo that the planet he destroyed was his mom's favorite planet. Jiwoo asks, "Who the hell are you?" That guy replied with a creepy smile. He said, "Me? I am a god."